Okay, good morning everyone. In today's session for the course CA 301 Web Designing. In previous session, we have learned how to use the CSS box model for spacing, borders and backgrounds. Followed by that, we have completed the topic about how to use CSS for page layout. For both the topics, using CSS box model and using CSS for page layout, we have seen the demonstrations. I hope everyone you will do that assignments practically. In this session, we will learn about working with links and lists. So this topic is the start for Unit 4 according to our syllabus for CA30 designing. The unit is having heading HTML and CSS skills. So we will how we can design or code links and lists with the help of CSS skills. Let us start with the topic. So first of all, we will learn how to code links. In this, we will learn several attributes that we can use to anchor element, how we can code the links, and then we will learn how we can create a link to another page or to start an email message. There are two important attributes of the A tag, means anchor tag. First is href and second is access key. So what is use of href attribute? It is used to specify a relative or absolute URL that identifies the document that we wish to display. So href is equal to value of the URL that we want or we wish that it should get now displayed. That value can be relative, it can be absolute. Then another attribute that we can use is access key. So what is this access key? This access key is the keyboard key that we can use in combination with the other keys to activate the link. Normally, how do we activate the link? We activate the link by clicking on it. When we want to activate the link, what we do? We go onto that link, mouse cursor goes onto that link, then we click on that and then we can see the contents of that particular link. But the another way is, if we wish to click on that link by using keyboard key, then we can do it by using access key attribute. So specify access key by using the attribute access key. So access key is equal to C. It is given in this example. So if we make use of the Mozilla Firefox, then in combination with Alt Shift, we have to use this access key. So when I press Alt Shift C together, what will happen? This link of shopping cart will open. Okay. So this way, for the different browser, there can be the another combination key that we need to find out, and accordingly we can make use of the access key. On the slide, you can see that there is one example given, a href, then access key, and here is a title attribute. What is the use of this title attribute? when a mouse will be over onto that link, when we render it into the browser, then we can see these as a tooltip. I will show you with the help of example. But what is the use of title attribute? The use is to show the tooltip. So thus this way we learn here three attributes: href, access key, and title. Title is the standard attribute. It is not particularly only for anchor element, but it is a standard attribute, and that we have used here. In the another line on this slide, you can see that a link is created, and that is an image link. Means what? Normally in anchor tag we specify the text, but here the image is specified, so it becomes a clickable image. When I click on that image, it will act like a link. So thus this way we can create the image link. So next to that, on the slide you can find here a code is written which is giving a link that starts an email message. So how do we can start an email message? By using a link. For that, we have to precede the email address by mail to colon. So mail to colon. You can see here ahref is equal to, in double quotes, mail to colon the email address. So if I click on murajbooks@muraj.com, then what will happen? Window will appear before me, and I can mail to that particular address. So thus this way we can start a link, or we can create a link that starts an email message. Now in previous sessions we already have learned these 4 CSS pseudo class selectors, such as a::link, a::visited, a::active, a::hover. I have practically demonstrated to you how do we can use these CSS pseudo class selectors. Followed by that, on this slide, see a code is written such as href is equal to a website address is written such as www.javascript.com, and here attribute target is used. This is a particular attribute target. So the value for target is given as underscore blank. So due to that, what will happen? If you will click on this link, official JavaScript website, this link will get open in the new window. Otherwise, by default, it opens in the same window. But if you want to open the link in the new window, what you can do, you can make use of this attribute target is equal to underscore blank. So if you click on it, then it will load that document in the new window. Like when we fill some examination forms several times, that document opens in the new window. So for that, at that time, they might have used the target attribute, and for the target attribute, they might have specified the value as underscore blank, and due to that, it happens. Otherwise also, if you right click on a link and if you wish to open it into the new window, you can open it. But it is the user's choice at that time. But now it is what the application that they have forcefully opened a document in the new window. If we make use of target is equal to underscore blank. Okay. So this way we can create link that starts an email message. We can make use of the CSS pseudo class selectors. We can create a link that will load the document in the new window that we have learned here. Now, proceeding to the next slides related to coding the links, I will tell you how do we can create anchor. Okay, so when we create a very lengthy web page, a long web page, lengthy web page. Too much content is there in the web page, in a single web page. And if you want to link to a particular part within that same web page, what we can create? We can create the anchor, and to that anchor we can link. So how we can do it? See here, we can do it by using such a example code AID. See, this is the attribute that we have to use to create the anchor. ID is equal to return. And now when you want to link to this line, how do you can link? You can link as ahref is equal to hash return. So that ID should be preceded by hash symbol. So due to that, when I click on this return, the control will go to this line. When I click on this return, control will go onto this line. I will demonstrate you practically. Now, here, it is not the case that you can jump to an anchor on the same page, but we can also jump to an anchor on the another page. Means if in the another web page, if there is some anchor created and to that directly you want to connect, you do not want to connect to start of the web page, but you want to connect to a particular part of the web page. How do we can do it? We can do it like this. For example, that another web page is info.html hash return. By default, if I give only info.html, what will happen? It will load the document starting from starting line. But if I give info.html hash return, then it will link to that particular position where that return ID has been given in the web page. Okay. So this way we can jump to an anchor by using a element. Now, several websites we visit, and you might have seen the different types of the navigation bar. What is use of navigation bar? Use of navigation bar is that the several different sub locations in the website, which are important ones that you want to give as a link to the user. What we do? We put them as a navigation bar. For example, this home, this is a link. Then another section is books. Then the another section of the website is ebooks. Then the another section is like a customer service. So a navigation bar is created this way. Home, then books, then ebooks, then customer service. Another way is like this. A box is created, home, then books, then ebooks, and then customer service. And then you can put some more elements over there. So such a navigation bars we can create by using anchor element, means a element. Okay. So I will demonstrate you now in the next slide, whatever I have taught to you. So let us see the demonstrations. I will start here the Notepad++ instance, and in that let us type the code in which we will have demonstration for all the features that we have learned now about coding the links. So code links.html, I have created the HTML page. In that, just put the two sections, head and the title. We'll put so demonstration for coding links. Demonstration for coding links. And now in body section, put the different terminologies that we have learned about the coding of links. So learn here use anchor element, means a element or tag. So let me delete that A because I just have used it as a text. So A tag. So A href is equal to sample.html. I will create here one another HTML file, which is sample.html. So a href access key. See, we have learned here the attribute called as access key. So access key is equal to S. Small s I have given. And then title. We also have learned title attribute. So title sample link. I am giving title as a sample link. And then put the text. This is a sample file or link. Sorry, not file. It is a link. This is a sample link. So we have used href, access key, and sample. Now let us run it into the Mozilla Firefox. Okay, first of all, I will create a sample.html. Just simple one line I will put in the sample.html. So let us open one another instance of the Notepad++. Name it as sample.html. So name of the file is sample.html that we have linked. So in that, just put HTML. I will just put a simple line in the body section. So just put a header tag, and in that header tag, you write this is sample file. Okay, so this is a sample.html file to which we have connected. Now see, we have used access key and title. Remember, I will show you what is the use of title. So let us run or launch this HTML page in the Firefox. So launch in Firefox. Now you will see the output in the Firefox. See, on your screen might be the output have come. So see here, title, due to title sample link. Can you see that there is a small hand and below that there is a text appearing sample link. So this is due to that title. And now I have not clicked on the link. I have used here Alt Shift S. Alt Shift S. And due to that Alt Shift S, that page is coming. You can try it by your own also. I will share you the same code on my web page. From that you can download and you can run it at your home also. So by using Alt Shift S, I have linked to that. Now let us add the things that we have learned here one by one. So how to what we have learned after using Anchor. Link, we will see link that starts an email message. Okay, so how to start an email message? Create that link. So how do we can create it? Href is equal to, we have to write mail to colon and a valid email address you have to give. So I'm giving my own address, snehalata.shirude@gmail.com. Okay, so mail to colon that we have to give. So double quote complete, anchor tag complete, and in that you specify contact me or write mail to whatever the message, write mail here that we can give. And now if you will run, what will happen due to this mail to, you see. So I will launch it into the Firefox. When I have run this, at the time of recording, there was no internet connected purposely because I don't want to go into the inbox and all that details. But you see what happens here. Outlook is open and it is asking me to add the account, and then it will allow me to email. So that details I will not show, but you can see here that for writing an email, outbox is opened automatically when I click on that mail to. Okay. So that is what the use that I just want to simply demonstrate. Now, next to that, what we have learned about coding of the links that we will demonstrate here. So learn here. The next we have learned that how do we can open a document in the new window, that we are going to learn over here. So link that loads the document in the new window, a blank window will get open. So how do it is get opened, that we will implement. So href is equal to that same sample.html I will open. So sample.html, which is the attribute? Try to recall. The attribute is target. Target, and the value to the target attribute is target is equal to, in double quotes, blank. Some other values also you can give to the target attribute, and it is the assignment for you that you have to find out what other values you can specify to the target attribute of anchor element. I have demonstrated you only one, underscore blank, but there are some other values. You try to find out them and use them. That is assignment to all of you. So see here, open sample page in a new window. It is open in the new window. See, otherwise, see, by default, it is opening in the same window. But now if I am opening from this link, a new window is created. You can see it. So a new window is created, and in that sample.html has been opened. So this way we learn here the use of access key, title, then mail to, then target attribute. Now we'll proceed the demonstration for the next point, in which we will learn how to create and use an anchor. Okay, so that an ID attribute that we will now do. So this is actually a very small page. So we have to link somewhere. So I will increase the size of the web page by copy paste in this. So I will create ID at the start purposely, so that you can see that at the start the page is coming, control is coming when we are clicking on that anchor. So see here, a ID is equal to start. I have created an anchor whose name is start. ID is equal to start. See how to code links from start. Okay, so this is the start of the web page for how to code the links. So I have created anchor over there. And now at the last of the page, what I am doing, I am using a href is equal to a hash start. See here, hash start. I am referring to that anchor. If you wish to, I will put the text. If you wish to learn from start, click here. So control will go to the start of the page. If you wish to learn again, start again. Okay, so like this. Now, this will be linking to that particular part of the page. So if we will learn, or if you will run, see if I click on this, control is going to the start, but you will not be able to see it. Why? Because the length of the web page is very small. So let me add some text so that the length of the web page will become more. So we have to add some text. So in the paragraph, I will just add something. So welcome to HTML world and all that text I'm going to add. You can get a very useful and good page in that content will be having some meaning. But here since I want to demonstrate you, I'm just entering the random words like welcome in HTML world, learn new features. Some lines I'm going to add here. CSS is nice to use. Okay, so something what are coming in my mind. So that words I'm adding over here. Okay, so we will learn XML also like that. So we can create our own applications. Okay, so by making use of all these knowledge, you can create your own application. So I have inserted here one paragraph. Oh, okay, so it is coming on one line because it is the block level element. So still you will not able to see the length of the web page more. So let me put here some row break. So I put here some row break and I will increase the font also so that, or I will put them into the H3 so that it will be increasing the font. So break row, and that break row I am going to copy on each line. So it will increase the length of the web page. So see it, I have increased here, and I will copy the same text again here 1-2 times so that the length of the page will becomes more. Okay, so we have increased here the length of the page by 2 times copying that same paragraph. Now see the output. I will launch this page into the Firefox. So launch it into the Firefox. See here, the length is now more. Now at the end I will go, and now if I will click, it is going to the start. You can see now I am at the end, and if I am clicking, it is loading that see how to code links from the start. So thus this way we can create the anchor and we can link it. Okay, so this way here we have learned how do we can link to the particular part of the page. Okay, now next to that I will demonstrate you the another topic that we have learned, and which is how to create navigation bar. So this is also very important to understand from the point of view of designing the applications, web applications, because it is the basic need of any web application, and we need to design the navigation bar. So I have opened one another instance of the Notepad++, and in that first of all we will type the navigation HTML page. So demonstrate or create a navigation bar. It is very simple file. It will not take much time to demonstrate you to this. And in the demonstrations, you can understand it clearly. How do we can create the navigation bar? Now in the body, we'll put one div section. Div ID is equal to nav1. I will also use CSS, and I will write some formatting rules. So due to that, your navigation bar will look nice one. So a element I have to use. So a href is equal to index.html home. So first is home. I am putting here vertical bar. Say I am separating the links by vertical bar. So another one, say like books.html, books.html. The link is books. So here put books. Another one I will add ebooks.html. So ebooks.html I will put, and the text to link is ebooks. And one more I will create in the navigation bar, which is the customer service. This is the same example that I have told you in the slide. I am practically doing. So service.html, customer service. Okay, so 4 links I have put. So I think these are sufficient. So just remove that vertical bar. And now I will design a CSS for this div whose ID is nav1. So let me create a link. rel is equal to style sheet. And then here type is equal to text slash CSS. I will create a CSS file whose address is href is equal to nav css.css. Okay, so close the link element. And now we have to create a new file, obviously, which is the CSS file now. And the name of the CSS file is what? nav css.css. So save as cascading or cascade style sheets file. Cascade style sheet file. So CSS cascade style sheet. We are creating nav css.css. And now what is the ID that we have given to div? It is the nav1. Okay. So we will refer it as a nav1. So that div section. And now we will put some formatting rules such as font size. Font size is equal to say 125%. Font weight bold, because it is navigation bar, bold will be good for that. Then border, I am setting top border, bottom border of 2 pixel. So border I want to show. So only top and the bottom. Left, right border I am not showing. If you want, you can use them also. So 2 pixel solid blue. Only top and border you can see, which will be in blue color, and the size of the border will be 2 pixel. Okay. Then padding, I will add some space, which will be in between the border and the content. So it should be some good amount of space. So it will be 6 pixel, 10 pixel, 9 pixel. I have demonstrated you that how to make use of this padding and margin in the earlier session. So we have specified here 3 values for padding. What is the meaning of specification of 3 values for padding? That you know that what is the meaning of first value, what is the meaning of second value, what is the meaning of third value. So we have put it. Now just launch it into the Firefox. Launch it into the Firefox. You can see the navigation bar. Okay, a navigation bar is created. Home, books, then ebooks, and customer service. You can see that border have come. So this way you can create the navigation bar. This way you can create the navigation bar. Okay, so let us proceed to the next slide now. In that, what we are going to learn, how do we can code the list. In this session, we are going to cover 2 major topics, such as how to code links and how to code list. We have learned how to code links and how to format the links by using CSS. That also we have learned. We have created the navigation bar. You can create the different types of the navigation bar by your own, by making use of this particular knowledge. Now, in the next section of this session, we are going to learn how do we can code the list. So there are 3 types of the list that we are going to learn here, such as how to code the unordered list. For that, we are making use of UL and LI element. How to code the ordered list, which can be made by using OL and LI element. How to create the nested list, means what? In unordered list, you can have ordered list, or in ordered list, you can have unordered list, or in that you can have definition list as well, like that. So that is nesting of the list. And then we will learn how to code the definition lists. For that, we have to make use of the element DL dt and dd. Okay, so let us see here with the help of example that how do you can create the list. Followed by that, we will learn how do we can format the list. This is important to understand about the list because several times in the web pages, you have to create the list. So let us open one new instance of the Notepad++ and give name to the file as a codelist.html. So codelist.html. Now, in this example, I will demonstrate you all the three types of the list that we can design, as well as in short, I will demonstrate you how do you can nest the list. These 4 points I am going to demonstrate you. So demonstration for coding of the list. So in the body section, I will put here first of all the unordered list. So let me put one paragraph, and in that paragraph add a heading such as say there are three types of list. There are three types of lists. So first of all, we will code unordered list. So let us create an unordered 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 list. Okay, so let us create an unordered list using which elements we need to use? UL and LI. Okay, elements. So UL and LI elements. So let us put UL. Let us put UL. So that U is the invalid tag that I'm going to delete. And now in UL, I'm going to add the LI items. I'm going to add. So first item of this unordered list. First item. You can give here some meaningful things. And it is not only case that only 2-3 words you can put as a LI. You can have a big item also, lengthy item also. Here for simplicity, just I will put such as first item, second item, like that. So some 3-4 items we are going to add here so that you can see a good list over here. So third item of the list, we can add many more items over here. So I will not add much, but we can add. So we can add many items in the list. Okay, so like that, there are 4 lines or the 4 items we have added. So you can see that as it is the unordered list, by default, bullets will appear. So bullets are appearing. First item, second item, third item. We can add many items in the list. See, here the unordered list has been prepared for us. Okay. Now next to that, we will learn how do we can create the ordered list. So let us create an ordered list using which elements are required? Using OL and LI elements. Using OL and LI elements. So I will copy the same list and just I will change it to the OL. So same LI elements I'm going to copy over here that we have designed for UL. So rather than typing it again and again, let me copy all the 4. Okay, so same items will be there. And now you see the output, launch it into the Firefox. So another list has been created and 1, 2, 3, 4. See, it by default starts with 1. And if I want to change it, the value that by default value is 1. And if I want to start the list with say 9, what I have to do? I have to make use of start attribute. So start is equal to 9. Okay, so I have put that attribute as start is equal to 9. Oh, it is not changed. Yes, the start attribute is of OL element. I have wrongly specified it to LI. It is not the attribute of LI. It is the attribute of OL. So therefore, I have to put it into the start is equal to 9. Now see, you will find that the default value 1 is changed to 9. So 9, 10, 11 and 12. So like that, whatever the number, if you want to have start, that you can specify and you can start your list. See, such a small things are very important from the point of view of your examination, such as use of this start attribute. Okay, from the point of your practical examination as well as from the point of view of your theory examination, such a small things are very important. So concentrate on them and try to practically use. Now let us create the third type of the list, which is the definition list. So let us create definition list using DL, DT and DD elements. DL, DT and DD elements. So it starts with DL. So DL stands for definition list. And in that, first of all, we wish to create term. So DT. DT stands for term. So DT term is client. So client's definition. So definition data means DD. So definition data is what? What do you mean by client? So that we have to write. What do you mean by client? For example, the definition of client is a computer that access the web page of a web, whatever the definition that you have to write it. So web page of a application using web server. Okay, so that definition we have written for using web browser. So that is the client definition. Okay, the another definition I will put, what do you mean by say web server? Okay, client, then after that web server. So let us write now DD. So what is the definition of web server? It is a computer that stores or holds the files for a computer that holds the files for each web application. Okay, so the definition is not means the detailed one. It is just simple definition that I have put over here just to demonstrate you. Let us add one more definition. I will not put now in detail, just simply put the term such as say LAN. Okay, and in DD, I will not write the complete definition of LAN now, but just the full form, local area network. You can then write the detailed one. When you will design your own pages, please write some meaningful and detailed content, because you have that much time. I cannot type over here all the details. It will waste your time and it is not possible during the lecture time. So, but while designing the web pages, you design good and meaningful web pages. So DT, WAN, wide area network means what? So that definition. Okay, so like that. Now here I have designed this definition list in which 4 definitions I have included. So let us see the output in the Firefox. You can see client, its definition, web server, its definition, LAN and its definition. Okay, you can find out that this client is the term and therefore it is rendered in that way. So thus this way we have created here the different types of the list. Now let me demonstrate you the last point that we have learned, that how do you can nest the list. So we can nest the lists as well. Nesting of the list means what? In one type of the list, put the another type of the list. So here I am creating an unordered list. And in an ordered list, I am putting 2 LI, means 2 items. The first items of UL is say ordered list. So in LI, OL, LI, first item. And the second item in the LI, second item of the ordered list. Okay, so this is completely the first item of UL. Second item. And then the second item of unordered list. So this is second item for unordered list. Second item for unordered list means for UL. Okay. Now you see the output in the Firefox. It will give you how do we have nested the list. So launch it into the Firefox. See here, the first item is containing the order list 1 and 2, and the second item for UL is that. So this way you can nest the lists. Okay, so here we have learned 3 different types of the list: how to code ordered list, unordered list, then how to code definition list. Then we have also learned how do we can nest the list. Hope everyone you might have understood how to code the list that you have to practically do. In this session, now we will proceed with the next topic, in which we are going to learn how to format the list. So how to format the list using CSS. Now by default, you might have seen that unordered lists are making use of bullets. But if I don't want to make use of bullets, if I want circle, hollow circle there, or if I want square there, okay, if I don't want any bullet, so can I change it? Can I change the style? Yes, I can change it. So for that, I have to make use of these properties, which can be used for formatting the unordered list. What is the name of the property which is supported by CSS? List dash style dash type. What this property determine? This property determines the type of bullet that is used for items in the list. What are the possible values for this attribute? These are the possible values for the attribute, such as disk, which is the default value, circle, hollow circle, square, and none, no bullet will appear. One another property which is supported by CSS to change the bullets for an unordered list is list dash style dash image. You might have visited to several different web pages, and you might have seen the different unordered lists. So in that, you might have seen that a small image appear as a bullet. So here I will demonstrate you that also. So this way we can format the unordered list. Okay. Now, how do we can format the ordered list? So for ordered list, you can make use of the property list style dash type. So by default, you might have seen that for the ordered list, the values are 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, means the decimal values. But if you leading 0, means what? We don't want only 1, 2, 3. We want 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0. Dash style dash type is equal to or colon decimal dash leading dash 0. If you want alphabets as the values separating the items, so lower alpha, upper alpha, lower Roman, upper Roman, that you can use. Okay, so this way you can format the unordered and the ordered list. Let us see with the help of example that how do you can format the list. You have to also do by your own practically these things. So carefully see that what code is needful to format the. You have to do it. See, I'm doing it within 5-10 minutes. If I ask you to do it practically and demonstrate you like this online, so I hope you will do it. So therefore, try to see that what way I'm doing it over here, and you should practice it so that in lesser amount of time you can demonstrate the feature. So I will add here one ordered list and one unordered and one ordered, and I will format both the list by using the two properties. Which are the two properties we learn? We learn two properties. One is for changing the bullet style and another one is for applying the image for unordered list. So first of all, just make use of the link element, which will be connecting to one CSS file, which is say list dot css. Okay, so format list dot css, and then just put a paragraph, and in that I will just put a list which will name the popular web browsers. Popular web browsers. So UL, and in that UL I will put the items. What are the popular web browsers? Just 3 browsers. Tell me, such as first I will put Internet Explorer. I will purposely write it into the H4, or it should be in H3, so that you can see the list in some big font. So 3 items I am going to add. Just simply Internet Explorer. Then I will write Mozilla Firefox, and then I will write the third item as just say Google Chrome. So Mozilla Firefox, and the third is Google Chrome. Okay. So let us see how do this particular list will appear. Okay. So here, without formatting now, we are going to launch it into the Firefox. You can see the output in the Firefox. See, by default bullets are coming as a filled circles. So the font is still small. So H3 I will use here. 3 I'm going to use here. So that font will increase by some way now. Okay. So this is visible. This must be visible to everyone you. Now I will change the style, list style. So let us create the CSS file. What is the name of the CSS file that I should give? The cascading style sheet. CSS.css option is here. So cascade style sheet file, and the name of the file is format list.css. Format list.css. Okay. Now here, what is the name of the UL? Yes, I will refer it by say class attribute. So give some class is equal to say L1. Okay. So class is equal to L1. So UL.L1. So that will be recognizing that unordered list. Otherwise, also directly by UL you can recognize it. But I'm going to add some other list also, and therefore I have named it. So list dash style type is equal to the possible value, say circle. So circle, CIRCLE, circle. So hello circle will appear. See now, I will now launch it into the Firefox. So the default value is changed to hello circle now. See, hello circles are coming now as the items which are separating. Now at the place of circle, I am going to put square. So square. Now once again launch it into the Firefox. Okay, sorry, I have launched the CSS file, but I should launch the HTML file. So launch the HTML file. So squares are coming. Okay, squares have been there. Put the image. So list style image. I have saved one image, leaf.help of URL function. So URL leaf.jpg. If you are saving into the another folder, complete path you have to specify. Remember leaf.jpg. Now you see the bullets are coming as a leaf. You can see bullets are as an image now. So what code we have written? URL leaf.jpg. The complete path you have to specify. So thus this way, image you can put as a bullet. Image you can put as a bullet. So what I will do? I will create here a ordered list. Ordered list. By default, ordered list separates the items by 1, 2, 3, 4. Let us change the name to L2 and now run it into the Firefox. By default, how ordered list look that you know. It looks as a 1, 2, 3. So 1 will be for Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, and 3 will be for Google Chrome. Okay. Now I will change it to the different type. Different list style I will use. So OL.L2 list dash style type colon. Suppose say I will use lower alpha. Okay. Lower dash alpha. So A, B, C, D, lower A, B, C, D will be the item separators now. So launch that HTML page into the Firefox. So see here, lower alpha, A, B, C, like that, they are coming. Now if I want upper alpha, so I can use it as a upper alpha, okay? So upper alpha, you can see capital A, B, C will come. See here, capital A, B, C are coming. Now if I want Roman, so I can have lower Roman, I can have upper Roman. I will not change say upper word, I will just shift it to say upper Roman. You can use lower Roman as well. So lower Roman. And now change. So what will happen? Upper Roman, you know, 1, 2, 3, like that. Similarly, you can have lower Roman. That I am not going to demonstrate you. But this way, you can format the list, okay, by using list dash style dash type and list dash style dot image. Get it? You have to make use of URL function. So this way, you can format the list. Now, you can make use of the CSS for changing the alignment of the list items. How do you can change the alignment? Alignment means what? Formatting from the point of view of space, margin, padding, all that we have learned in the previous section, how to make use of margin and padding attributes. So that margin and padding properties, not attributes, sorry, properties, CSS properties that you can use over here on the unordered list. So here HTML for an unordered list is given, div ID is equal to page, and here the UL is added, such as say items added are Internet Explorer, Firefox, Safari, Opera, and all that. So what I have done, I have aligned the list items with the help of my needful measures. So by using margin and padding properties. So you can see it and you can execute this code practically by your own. So thanks everyone. If you have any queries, you can ask.